outfits, actually. Oh, I'm gonna be so hateful. You just inflicted psychic damage. That's kind of it, you fat Polish fuck. Fuck you.
Holy shit, that was diabolical. I mean, that was rough. There is a fair bit of context here that I'm going to go through, but even still, holy shit. Basically, this is Kaneko Lumi, or Lumi for short. And Lumi is a VTuber that is a talent for the VTuber agency FaZe Connect. She generally plays RTS games, and her community vibe is more towards the banter and shit talk kind of vibe. I wouldn't exactly call it relaxed in nature. Calling her a retard, stupid, etc. is taken all in good nature. This is kind of the banter that happens on her stream. It's a fairly common thing. The person she is talking to is a clipper who often clips for FaZe Connect, called Kotazuma, who is a self-described clipper for FaZe Connect. The only other thing that I know about this dude is that he is apparently fat, which, going to be real, probably really sucks for him that this is now what he's going to be known for. Effectively, Lumi is tearing into a fan of FaZe Connect, and in particular of another VTuber, also part of FaZe Connect, called Jelly Hoshi, whatever the fuck her name is, for apparently absolutely no reason at all, other than the fact that she just woke up that day and decided that she was going to give this man an ego death comparable to an anal enema of DMT and acid in the Mojave. The reason for this, she says, is...
What did he even do? Nothing. That's the thing. Now, you gotta work out with us. If you don't work out with us, I will be mad forever.
Now, I don't believe, and you'll see why later, what she says here. To me, this comes off as a bit of a woman moment, saying, there's nothing wrong, I'm fine, it's fine. Usually someone does this because they know they can't really say why they're doing it. But you'll see why later. I don't really think the intention here was to be as mean as she came off, especially as if you ever watch her stream, it's 90% of her audience calling her about 7 different variations of low IQ retard. So I think you have to bear this in mind. I think before she went on this rant, she absolutely justified this in her head as halfway benevolent and so acceptable with the banter tone. It just came off as catastrophically worse than she intended. She pressed a big red button that said bomb without realizing that in brackets it said nuke. Lumi starts justifying this by saying that the reason for all this is actually because this dude is a fan of Jelly, and Jelly deserves better. Which, I'm going to be real, also smells a bit like bullshit.
That's why I don't like being called a fan. Too much pressure to represent a group. I mean, it kind of is a lot of pressure, isn't it? It is a good amount of pressure. I mean, I would want to... I feel like if I represent something, I want to be like the best version of me to represent. Which then becomes an issue. Right? Healthy amount of pressure. I mean, if you don't work out, I'm not going to kill you. But, like, I will be disciplined. It's because you are so loud about how much you love Jelly that now when I think of Jelly, I'm like, oh, Kotazuma.
Again, I'll go into this later, when in the following stream, or some later stream, Lumi apologizes. But is it really pressure to call yourself a fan? Really? I mean, unless you're horrifyingly and horrifically parasocial, I don't think I'd ever sit in my room and think, by God, I better make sure I look appropriate in public. I'm representing my VTuber here. It's a bit cringe. I really don't think many people think this way, and I think that those are likely to be the sort of cringe fan that you're trying to avoid. I don't think there's some responsibility as a viewer and a fan, other than perhaps try not to be too much of an ass. Now, to be fair, Lumi does apologize.
I genuinely felt really bad. I want to say one thing. I'm going to say this. I'm sorry about Kotazuma. Kotazuma, I'm sorry I ripped into you too hard. I didn't say it the way I should have said it. My bad. I'm genuinely quite apologetic. I think I meant what I said, but it came out really mean. So I do want to apologize for sounding really mean. And that's on me, my bad.
People seem to be reacting poorly to it, but given the community that Lumi has and the banter that she takes and participates in, I don't think her intentions were bad. I think she was just a bit stupid. Effectively, she's saying, you're obese, you should come work out with us. I don't think she really intended to be that devastating. But I think when you see the final clip, at least to me, it looks a bit more apparent why she was a bit more hurtful.
I realized something. I think I've thought about it a lot, and I was like, you know what? I think the thing is, I have given him a lot of shit because he was once a Gumi.
So this clipper used to be more strongly part of Lumi's community, and he moved on. And then, from my perspective, a woman got jealous. She had a massive woman moment, so she's giving him shit. I don't think this was about representing her co-talent well. I think she was jealous, knew the dude to some degree, as in, like, he was probably a regular in her chat, then teared into him far harder than she expected to, a little more vindictively than she should have done, whilst at the same time justifying it to herself by saying that she was looking out for him, or that it's for her co-talent's image, and you have to have a good image as a fan. Effectively, Lumi had a massive woman moment. But that's just what I think.